Hello aspirants, today another important topic from the perspective of India and the world, and the topic is the crisis in Pakistan. What happens in Pakistan is an obvious concern for people living in India. Pakistan has been described by Shashi Tharoor as the twin brothers, born together, but unfortunately, they never had the fraternity. There is no other relationship which can be compared in terms of the level of hatred the two countries have towards each other. It is often said that Pakistan's nationalism or Pakistan's identity is defined more through India than by Pakistan themselves. You must have known this well established fact that as far as Pakistan's nationalism is concerned, it is always 99% hatred for India and 1% love for Pakistan. If our next door neighbor has such an approach towards us, it is a matter of concern. So, what is happening in Pakistan? I will say nothing new. You can easily come to the conclusion that more world change, more it remains the same. What is the normal, usual story about Pakistan? The political instability, the intervention of the military, its deep state in its day-to-day politics, the involvement of Pakistan in sponsoring terrorism, earning it the title of the epicenter of terrorism. Pakistan's problems are never ending. Today, Pakistan is suffering from the economic crisis. The inflation rate is high, and I fear that Pakistan should not see the same days which very recently the people in Sri Lanka has seen. And compounding the crisis, which is because of the short-sighted economic policies, the short-sighted foreign policies, as well as the short-sighted administrative policies. Pakistan, the overdeveloped state, rightly pointed out by Hamza Alvi that it is a military bureaucratic oligarchy where the governments in Pakistan has never thought about doing something which benefits the people of Pakistan. The Pakistani elite continue to be a self-perpetuating group with no concern for the problems of the ordinary people in Pakistan. So, along with the economic crisis in recent years, Pakistan has also faced the environmental crisis, the natural disasters. So, should we be concerned about Pakistan? Yes, we have no option but to remain concerned. Now, normally, how should we look towards the crisis in our neighborhood? Gone are the days when it used to be understood that when neighbor house is burning, we can afford to make hay. But in the age of growing interdependence and complex interdependence, it is no more a possibility. We cannot afford to make hay when our neighbor's house is burning. The stable Pakistan is not just in the interest of the people of Pakistan. A stable Pakistan is essential for the security in the region. But whether Pakistan will be able to achieve stability in short time is a $1,000,000 question. And it doesn't seem that Pakistan's problems are going to decrease. Now, what is increasing the problems of Pakistan? Its foreign policy acting at cross purposes. Pakistan has a difficult task of balancing China on one side and US on the other side. Pakistan has played role in installing Taliban in Afghanistan, but the old rivalries have bounced back. We all know that Afghans cannot be controlled, but Pakistan wants to have the strategic depth in Afghanistan. Since the time Taliban has come to power, Pakistan is facing a new spate of terrorist violence. Again, what about the administration and governance? What is the regular view in Pakistan? All demonstration, all protests, and huge instability. So, what exactly India has to do? But the question is what we can do. I believe that India should continue with its policy of Panchashil, means non-interference in the domestic affairs of the neighboring country. But we have to be very cautious about our own internal security. We have to safeguard our borders. We have to avoid any possibility of any unpleasant incident. So, the maximum that we should be doing is keeping watch, take care of our internal security, and we can hope that normalcy return, because failed state on the border is obviously a threat. I believe that wisdom will prevail in the elites of Pakistan, and they will understand, they will come out of their perception that India is not a threat. They should become a part of India's growth story. They should integrate themselves with the growth story of South Asia, and they need to do all these things not for India but for their own people, the people of Pakistan. They are answerable to their people who have trusted, who have seen this dream that Pakistan will become an ideal state where they will have a government of their choice, where they can live with dignity. So, I will always wish that wisdom prevails and our neighbors get back to normalcy. Now, for the viewers, just some facts. So, what is the context? That is, we are talking about Pakistan, the political crisis, the economic crisis, and which includes the military intervention, the failure of the civilian government. And you know, the major crisis has been with the Imran Khan's arrest, and right now Pakistan's parliament has been dissolved and election is due. So, Pakistan's election are matters to be watched, not from the perspective that some change in their attitude is going to happen, but because whenever elections take place in mobocracies like Pakistan, they are bound to be violent, and the flames of the violence, they should not be reaching to India. Now, again, the economic crisis, you know that inflation rate is 30%. The value of one Pakistan rupee has become equivalent to 0.0035 of US dollar. You can imagine how the people in Pakistan are finding to handle their day-to-day needs and issues. And just if you have to mention what are the crises of Pakistan's, what are the reasons behind the economic crisis? Of course, the borrowings, the Russian-Ukraine war, the poor governance, and of course, extremely protectionist policies of Pakistan. Just for your interest as well as for your knowledge, these are the major army leaders who have ruled Pakistan, who have controlled Pakistan from time to time, starting with General Ayub Khan, Ziaul Haq, Musharraf, and Asim Munir. And few things you should be aware of Asim Munir and why India should be concerned is that he has been part of ISI, and you know what ISI has been doing towards India. So if he becomes something with powerful, something in power on a permanent basis, obviously not good for India, but we are capable enough to manage our challenges. And for me, there is nothing new. It's a old story told again and again. And I believe that there should a time come when we talk about some new story of Pakistan, a positive Pakistan, a Pakistan as a pillar of South Asian prosperity and peace, and not a problem, not an epicenter of terrorism. Fine. So the crisis, even the army, even if it wants to, it has said it wants to bring normalcy. These are the challenges: economic, the biggest challenge; domestic instability, balancing the relation between US and China; and of course the threat of TTP. And what India has to watch, first and foremost, the refugee crisis. How are we going to deal if Pakistan becomes a completely failed state? And how we are going to deal with the refugee crisis will shape our image. So India is going to face a difficult challenge. Now, regional instability, obviously the failed states like Pakistan and Afghanistan are always a threat to regional stability. There is a possibility that the Pakistani elite, in order to turn the attention away, they can escalate the tensions on the border. And what about the nuclear proliferation? The biggest fear is Pakistan's nuclear weapons. They may fall into the hands of the non-state actors. And you know that non-state actors are not the responsible actors. Hence, India has to be very careful about this particular aspect. And as you know, South Asia has been termed by US establishments as one of the most dangerous places in the world. Why? Because the most volatile, because there is a greatest possibility of the nuclear weapon, whether intentional or accidental. So keep watching. Let us reconnect with another issue on World Affairs. Thank you.